Chuck E. Cheese is an American family entertainment center and restaurant pizza chain founded in 1977. Welcome to Eric C. Productions. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you get notified of that latest video that are posted during the week. Be sure to hit that like button and leave a suggestion or a comment. You might see that video in a future posting. This was a viewer suggested video by 2 people actually this time. Thanks for your suggestion.
This is the place for you and your friends. This is the place where the party never ends. It's the good time place, everyone agrees. When you're hungry for fun, it's Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese, Chuck E. Cheese. When you're hungry for fun, it's Chuck E. Cheese.
It's a good time place that's sure to please.
When you're hungry for fun, it's Chuck E. Cheese. When you're hungry for fun, it's Chuck E. Cheese.
The concept for the novel mixture of games, pizza, and electronic animals originated with Nolan Bushnell, the founder of Atari video games in the mid-1970s, when teenagers began flocking to game arcades to test their reflexes on the latest craze video games. The revenues generated by the quarters slotted into those games were huge, and Bushnell, who wanted to operate and take in those quarters, came up with the idea of using the games to fill the 20 minutes customers spent waiting while their pizza order was prepared. The Warner Corporation agreed to build one restaurant after buying Atari from Bushnell for $28 million in 1976, and the first Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theater opened in May of 1977 in San Jose, California, as a division of Atari. By banning unaccompanied teenagers and adding automated entertainers for younger children, Bushnell hoped to attract families and avoid having his pizza entertainment center turn into a teenage hangout. After a year of operation, Bushnell left Atari and bought the Pizza Time restaurant and the rights to the idea from Warner for $500,000. He then began looking for franchisees. To expand beyond California and the West Coast, Bushnell began to franchise, resulting in a co-development agreement between himself and Robert Brock of Topeka Inn Management in June of 1979. The agreement handed Brock exclusive franchising rights for opening Pizza Time theaters in 16 states across the southern and midwestern United States, which also forming a company subdivision, Pizza Showbiz, to develop the Pizza Time theaters. Late in 1979, Brock became aware of Aaron Fechter of Creative Engineering, Inc. and his work in animatronics. In November of 1979, he scouted Fechter's business and concluded that Creative Engineering's animatronics would be too strong a competition for Bushnell's work. Brock therefore requested that Bushnell release him from their co-development agreement, wishing to develop with Fechter instead. When Bushnell refused, Brock and Fechter went ahead anyway and negotiated a preliminary agreement. Early in 1980, Brock told Bushnell their agreement was canceled. Bushnell sued for breach of contract and Brock countersued for misrepresentation. Brock and Bushnell eventually reached a legal settlement whereby Brock could use the Pizza Time Theater concept in return for fees paid on a percentage of the annual gross revenues of the first 160 Showbiz restaurants. Brock opened his first Showbiz pizza place in March of 1980, incorporating under the name Showbiz Pizza Time, Inc. in Kansas. Both companies expanded quickly, building restaurants primarily in the Midwest, Southwest, and on the West Coast. Brock and Bushnell were battling for a very lucrative market. In 1981, Pizza Time Theater went public. However, the evolving video game industry and the video game crash of 1983 resulted in significant losses for Pizza Time Theater, which lost $15 million in 1983. By 1984, Bushnell's debts were insurmountable, resulting in the filing of a Chapter 11 bankruptcy for Pizza Time Theater on March 28, 1984. Brock then bought the foundering company, finalizing the purchase in May of 1985 and merging the two restaurant companies into Showbiz Pizza Time, Inc. After the merge, both restaurant chains continued operating under their respective titles, while major financial restructuring had begun. During this period, creative engineering began to sever ties with Showbiz Pizza Time, officially splitting in September of 1990, resulting in the unification of the two brands. By 1992, all restaurants assumed the name of Chuck E. Cheese Pizza. In 1998, Showbiz Pizza Time renamed itself CEC Entertainment Inc. to reflect the remaining chain brand. CEC Entertainment acquired additional family restaurant properties, including 13 locations of the now defunct Discovery Zone in 1999. By 2012, CEC was struggling with decreasing revenue. They ran a rebranding campaign, changing the rat mascot into a rock star guitar-playing mouse. In-store restaurant sales continued to decline through 2013, but merchandising and box office revenue increased. CEC acquired all locations of Peter Piper Pizza in October of 2014. Peter Piper Pizza still operates under that name. Earlier that same year, Apollo Global Management acquired CEC Entertainment, Inc. for $54 per share, or about $950 million. By 2015, the Chuck E. Live Stage, also known as Stage V2, which featured no animatronics at all, a modernized dance floor, and performances only with costumed characters, had been created. In August of 2017, the company began to pilot a new design concept at 7 remodel locations branded as Chuck E. Cheese Pizzeria and Games. These locations featured more upscale decor with a muted interior color scheme, an open kitchen, the Play Pass card system to replace arcade tokens, and the animatronic stage show replaced by a dance floor area. These changes, along with the expansions to food offerings, were intended to help the chain be more appealing to adults and encourage family dining as opposed to primarily hosting parties. After the pilot location showed promise, retirement of the animatronics at Chuck E. Cheese locations accelerated and continued through 2019, by which time 80 of its stores were expected to be retrofitted to the new design. Live costume character performances, particularly of Chuck E. Cheese character himself, are still widely used today, even in locations where animatronics have been eliminated. The COVID-19 pandemic has been financially damaging to the parent company, and with an estimated $1.1 to $2 billion in debt, the possibility exists that all CEC properties being forced to close if bankruptcy refinancing fails. CEC solicited $200 million in loans to finance a restructuring under the bankruptcy protection. They also filed a voluntary petition under Chapter 11 bankruptcy in Texas on June 25, 2020. On December 30, 2020, CEC Entertainment announced its emergence from Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. The company's balance sheet had been strengthened by the reduction of approximately $705 million of debt obligations, and at emergence, the company had over $100 million of liquidity to support operations and growth initiatives. In other words, they're still around, and they're going to continue to be in business. At the time of making this video, there are currently 612 locations across the United States. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your suggestion. Hey, if you just watched my video, thanks for watching. Hit that like button and please subscribe to Eric C. Productions.